Okay, first off, I want to welcome everyone back. What we're going to be doing today in my tutorial series is we're going to be taking a look at how we are going to set up our files for 3D Studio Max to get the best, most organized results. Now, unlike the Maya, I think there's a couple less steps that we have to do for this, and the equivalent of autosave, which in 3ds Max is called Autoback, is turned on by default. So that's some cheerful news for us. So let's begin. Now, just a little heads up. When you're using 3D Studio Max, it takes time to load up. So I've already taken the liberty of turning on this 3D software before this video tutorial began. So that's going to help save a little bit of time. Now, also a little bit of a heads up. I've created a folder already. I'm going to call this 3ds Max demo. Currently it is empty. This will definitely change. Now, to get started, besides having the interface up, first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go to Max, and I'm going to go to an option here called Manage. Now, this area, we're going to find a little option called Set Project Folder. Now, what this is going to be doing is this is going to tell 3D Studio Max that we want to save our files in this folder, and we want to put any folders that's going to help keep organization in that folder as well. So, good news here. Again, you hit the little Max symbol at the very top, go to Manage, Set Project Folder, bam. Now, what you would do next is you basically find the folder you want to work in. Now, in my case, I put this again on my desktop and try to keep this as simple as possible. Yep, there's the 3ds Max demo. And I'm just going to hit OK. And with that very simple command, I can go into 3ds Max demo folder over here, and all the folders I'll ever need are going to be put in right here, nice and organized. Now, let's talk about some of these folders so you know their purpose and what they do. Now, the scenes is basically where you're going to be saving your 3ds Max files by default. So if you ever need to find a 3ds Max file, you put it here. Now, scene assets, also an important area. This is basically where you're going to be saving important elements like images, which is basically where your textures are going to be saved. So important thing to remember here. And also, for those who are going to be doing anything with music or lip syncing, the sound is usually put by default in the sound area over here. So, not too difficult to remember. Let's see, besides that, there's also some other elements over here that we're not going to really need to get into too much right away, except for maybe export if you plan on using multiple softwares. Again, big area that's going to be important is the Autoback. Now, what this will do, for those of you guys who need a little refresher, is this will make a copy for you in case, for whatever reason, well, 3ds Max crashes. So it usually saves on increments of 10 to 15 minutes. So if, again, should something go wrong, just look over here and you should be able to get a file that was backed up. So pretty easy. But anyways, let's get back to 3ds Max. Now, that's basically the main areas that you guys would need to set up. But that being said, there's one other area that you might want to consider changing or checking up on, and that is the unit setup. Now, you can get there by going to Customize, and there should be an option over here, which there is, called Unit Setup. Just basically click this quickly, and you have quite a few options available for you here, actually. You have generic units, which is basically where it starts. You also have the metric system, which measures in millimeters, centimeters, meters, and kilometers. Or you have US standard. Now, for anyone who does architecture, this might actually be very interesting for you because this does have fractional inches, decimal inches, fractional feet, decimal feet, feet with fractional inches, which I know a lot of architects like using, and feet with decimal inches, which other people like using. So personally, I'm just going to keep this at feet with decimal inches for now, but of course you can change this whatever you need to. But yeah, you hit OK. And for all intents and purposes, you are ready to go. And that's pretty much it. So for the basics of the user interface and also how to get started with some of the tools, I'm going to leave that for a future lesson. And I've basically touched up on everything I wanted to at this time. So if I just want to save my progress, not that I've made too much, go to File, Save As, and you can already see that it's already going into my 3ds Max demo folder in the scenes, and it's going to look for my scenes in that folder in the future. Good things to know. And yeah, just going to call this demo _01 and save. So thank you all for joining me today. And again, next lecture is we're going to be going into the user interface and actually some of the tools. Thank you, and see you next time.